Time for another ice fishing report here in Otter Tail County, Minnesota. And today I'm joined by Trevor Johnson from Vacationland Resort, which is on Otter Tail Lake. Trevor, how are things developing on Otter Tail Lake for you?
Things are looking up. We're finally starting to gain some ice out there. We've gained, I haven't been out yet today now, but yesterday we spent a fair amount of time out on the lake. Again, drilling a bunch of holes, drilled a lot more holes this year than we ever have on what you would call, I guess, a normal year. But anyway, we've done a lot of checking in the areas that we're going to fish this year. Since last Friday, we've gained about 3 inches of ice out there. So there we're fishing, we're finding 10 to 12 inches of ice now, which is really, really positive for us as far as getting our houses out and being able to get a road established, which we did yesterday. So yeah, looking to get our first guests out this weekend. We got one house out yesterday. We're going to put 2 or 3 more out today and see what that brings for the weekend. But yeah, we're headed in the right direction for sure. There's minimal snow on the lake. You get out towards the middle, there's maybe 3-4 inches of snow is all. So it is pretty easy traveling. There are some pretty good pillow drifts now from the last 3, 4, 5 days of wind, whatever it's been. But those are starting to get a little bit hard. So you do need to pay attention when you're out there, and not get hung up on one of those. But for the most part, it's pretty easy going once you get out there.
Okay. And so tell us about your fish house rentals. Like, how many houses do you have? Is it a variety? Can I rent them, for the day? Is it for a week? Is it, tell us about your fish house fleet, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. No, we've got 6 houses that we'll have out this year. Our smallest houses are 8x16 ice castles. And then we've got a couple of 8x21 ice castles as well. And then we've got a big day house that we set out on the lake also. Yeah, you can rent them by the day. You can, all of our ice castles are set up as sleeper houses. So if you want to spend 2-3 nights out on the lake, which, seems to be about the average, most people, that's long enough in a fish house, I guess. But yeah, daily, nightly, haven't had anybody stay a week yet. 3 nights, I think, has been the max. But yeah, we'll have those on Otter Tail. We do occasionally put them on a couple smaller lakes as well for panfish. We've got one on a smaller lake right now set up. So if somebody wants to go pan fishing, we can certainly get them out doing that too. But yeah, they start at our cheapest house, I think, is $190 a night. They and then our bigger ones are $325 a night for the big ice castles. And we do not, trying to think, it's either 20 or $50, 25 or $50 off a night during the week. So like Sunday through Thursday, we do lower the price on those. But for a weekend, our big ice castles are $325 a night. They can comfortably sleep 4 guys. I know a lot of, they'll say sleeps 5 to 6 comfortably, but by the time you get all your gear and stuff in there, I tell guys, you know what? Yeah, if you want to do 5, great. 4 is comfortable. That way you're not tripping over each other and all your gear and whatnot. So
yeah, the gear does matter, right? Like once you get that loaded up with all your flashers and your duffel bags and food, yeah, the gear can take up some quality space.
And we do rent Vexilars too. So if you're new to ice fishing or you don't have a lot of stuff, or if you just don't want to bring some of your extra things with, we do rent Vexilars, $25 a day. We've got extra rods and reels. So if you don't have that stuff, I mean, we've got a few of those in each of our houses and rattle reels, of course. So, yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure there hasn't been a lot of ice fishing, so we maybe don't know what the bite is like right now, but what's you use the word normal. What's a typical walleye bite? I mean, and that's what most people are going for, right? When they rent from you, is they're looking to get some walleye. What's a typical walleye bite on Otter Tail in the winter like?
Yeah, so we set our houses on Otter Tail basically geared towards walleye fishing. Obviously you'll get some perch, doing that as well. But yeah, most of our houses we set on kind of known or proven walleye spots, in the wintertime for us. So yeah, as far as what to use, I mean, the little buckshot jigs, forage minnows, that type of thing. I always tell people don't forget about the regular old leadhead jig either in the wintertime. That's, kind of surprise some people. And then we run our set lines too, or dead sticks with just, slip bobber and either sucker minnows or golden shiners, that sort of thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting once we get set up out there to actually see. We haven't done a ton of fishing on the lake yet just because of the cold and the wind and stuff. But hopefully today now it looks like we'll be able to maybe try a few spots and get the houses set for the weekend.
One thing that we've learned over the years, you mentioned the regular leadhead jig, the straight jig, is putting it on the bottom.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times walleyes will come down, they'll attack stuff on, they'll pin stuff to the bottom. So you're jigging, and they just don't engage. Sometimes if you drop it on the bottom, boom, then they go down and
gets them to react. Yeah.
Gets them to react. So,
yep.
Well, great. It sounds like things, like you said, are headed in the right direction. Anything else you want to add? If people want to rent from you, how do they get in touch with you? What's the best way to book a shack?
Well, they can go on our website. We've got pictures of all 6 houses and descriptions and a list of, what to bring, that sort of thing, what's provided. They can just send us an email off of our website. They can message us on Facebook. We try to stay pretty active with our Facebook page. I've got my phone numbers on there. They can call or text. That would be the easiest way to get something reserved. And then, we also keep our biggest cabin here at the resort open all winter. So I think we've only got one weekend left in February. Otherwise, most of our weekends are booked here. But, midweek stuff, there's always availability if you can get away during the week. There's always houses available and our cabin's available pretty much, I think, most weekdays, except once we get to later February, it gets pretty busy again throughout the week as well. But so if you want to come up, do a little fishing on Otter Tail, I think it's still one of the best kept secrets in the state as far as walleye fishing. A lot of guys have never been here, and once they come and experience, they're usually pretty impressed with the structure and some of the fishing that can be had out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of walleyes in that lake, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned earlier that the ice does vary quite a bit from spot to spot, right? Like you guys have done your exploring, you've found good ice. Like, can you talk about how the ice conditions do vary on parts of the lake?
It does, yeah. Where we normally like to start, that area we're still only seeing about 8 inches ice. It's probably maybe quarter to a half mile at the most away from where we're going to start this year. And that's only 8 inches, and there's a lot of blow ice over there, a lot of shards sticking up and a little more difficult to get to. So that was one of the reasons we chose to go this other route as well. But a friend of mine was just up off of Riviera access on the northeast side of the lake here 2 days ago and came across the area of only 4 inches. So, and that was, before the shore break out there even. So, you got to be careful this year. I know there's some guys venturing out and maybe driving some small vehicles off of the Pelican Bay access, but I can only speak for the mile and a half straight out, that we kind of to fish every year, and we do check that pretty regularly. We're on the ice every day, moving houses if need be, and just safety first as always, I guess. So we'll not sure if we'll be letting guests drive out this weekend yet or not. I like to err on the side of having a little more ice than needed than not enough. So anyway, we'll see what the weekend brings, but hopefully that road will freeze down good here in the next couple of days, and we'll be able to get people out there in their own vehicles.
All right. Well, thanks for taking the time. Best of luck out there, and hopefully we'll connect later in the ice fishing season to see how things are going.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Eric.
All right. See ya.